All right, sir. Okay, so let me show you my. So a couple of tools I want to go over with you, right? That I think will be useful on this um, journey. Uh, just a sec. Actually, no. Uh, that's my calendar. What am I doing? Calendar. Okay. So, couple of tools, right?
Okay.
Firebase Studio, Cursor, Git, GCP or Google Cloud Platform, which is like AWS but Google's own,
Mm.
Flow, and Stitch. Okay. Now we're not going to go over everything today, and we're not even necessarily use everything, but I think the core ones would be Firebase Studio, Cursor, and Git. Just actually, I'll say maybe Flow is optional, but I'll explain what each one does. Right. So Firebase Studio is Google's. You've heard of like Lovable, V0, all these platforms, have you?
What's the second one you mentioned? The second one? Is it
V0.
Lovable Visio?
Yeah, V0.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of it, but I don't.
Okay.
Oh,
So
V0. No, I haven't heard of it.
V0, yeah. So these platforms, yeah, there's this trend of these platforms that can build great UIs by just prompting,
Mm.
right? So V0 is very popular, Lovable is very popular. There's there's not Blitz, Bolt. The Bolt is popular, and they all kind of like serve different purposes, similar things with different purposes. The reason why I like
Okay.
Firebase Studio is like I feel Firebase Studio is more geared towards engineers. I feel like other platforms are geared towards
Mm.
people who are not traditionally developers and want to start building with AI. Firebase
Gotcha.
Studio, like when I first saw, I heard about all these platforms before. When I saw Firebase Studio, I was immediately hooked. I was like, yes, this has what I need, right?
Hmm.
So now, and obviously, you can choose to go with any other platform, after this, training. But I do think Firebase Studio does it for me, right?
Okay.
Okay, so now we've talked about Firebase Studio. The other one is Cursor, right? So Cursor, so I think one day I'd ask you if you know about Visual Studio Code, right?
Yeah,
So
I
Visual
know
Studio
this one.
Code, yes. So Visual Studio Code is an IDE, right? Essentially, it's an independent development environment that allows you to write code, right? And it's been like the most popular IDE for like, I don't know, a decade or so. And I believe it's open source. And what happened is, of recent, some other companies forked the repo of Visual Studio Code and made it more, because Visual Studio pioneered Copilot, so just like the AI here to start writing code. But then these guys now that took it further. So they forked it and put wrappers on it. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So you have Cursor doing this and you have Windsurf. I use Cursor more, so I'm going to take you there. So Cursor is an AI code editor, right? So what I'm going to do also is after this call, I will send you all the links to all these tools so you can download them and then we can discuss afterwards. So Cursor, very powerful AI editor. You can get it for free. You don't have to pay. And because I use the free version for now, and it does pretty much what I needed to do. So that's for that. The other thing you're gonna need at some point is Git. Do you have a GitHub account?
I think I do, but I don't think I've used it in years, so I have
Yeah.
to put a star on that one.
Yeah. We'll go, we'll cross that. So GitHub, right, is a software versioning platform. Okay. So it's based on Linux. Now, I don't think for the purpose of what we're trying to do, you don't have to know all the commands. I think you should know a few commands, but you'd have to know like everything. And more so, the IDEs, there are some buttons that can make things easier for you in terms of um how do you submit code. And the reason why we use versioning or software versioning is because, especially when you're working in a collaborative environment, even personally, and you see with the AI, because when you're working with AI, it does feel like you're working with the co-pilot or a co-developer. And what can happen is you can tell the AI to make some changes. It does the changes, and you don't like what it's done, and you want to revert back to like a previous version or the previous commit of the code.
Mm.
So the AI, so you can use Git to like do that manually. Even sometimes with the AI, you can say, okay, we revert back to the previous state where you were. Um, it can be funky sometimes using AI. That's why Git is powerful. And many of these IDEs like Cursor, they have Git integrated so that you can easily commit. So, and your changes will go to GitHub. Okay, so GitHub is the, so like I can show you with this one, like I have some repos here that worked with the teams in the past, so you can see like code change and all that. Where, okay, so you see this for example, you can see like people's changes, software changes that they made, and people who have contributed to the code, right? So that's GitHub. Now, so we discussed Firebase Studio. This is good. For GCP, you're not going to. So this is the cloud platform. So essentially, this is where like your applications are going to live. We're not going to go in depth into GCP, but think about it. Google owns Firebase Studio. I don't know if I said that already. So Google owns Firebase Studio, and they also own GCP. So so naturally a lot of GCP has like a lot of services you can use, like serverless functions, Vertex AI, databases. It's just a whole suite of cloud integrations that down the line, especially when you want to introduce it to your application, you can introduce it, right?
Mhm.
So, and you can obviously use actually AI to say, oh, you know what, I want to include images on my application. How can you? And they tell you, okay, you need an API key from Vertex AI, blah blah blah, blah, and then it's now help you set it up. So you don't have to be like an expert in GCP, but also that Google Cloud platform is where like other services are, you can integrate into your application. Okay. Now, Flutterflow and Stitch, right? So Flutterflow too as well. I came across it. So do you know what Flutter is, by the way?
But no.
Okay. So Flutter is a mobile development framework, again by Google, that helps you create web applications, mobile apps, I think TV apps on multiple devices and platforms. So naturally, so Apple has its iOS platform using Swift, right? Then Android is uses Kotlin for its own development. Now, so you're a developer and you one person, you want to develop for both iOS and Android, it means you have to write code in Swift and in Java or in Kotlin. It's time consuming. It's two different languages. It shows a head split.
Mhm.
The Flutterflow was designed by Google to help you build apps in a language called Dart. So I'll take you to the Flutter's homepage. Flutter, right? So
Okay.
Flutter, so this is it. It's owned by Google. Okay. So you can see all these nice UIs, mobile UIs. This is like a desktop UI as well.
Mm.
And you can, this is a syntax. So actually, yeah, so the language uses is called Dart. It looks very similar to
Like
JavaScript.
like DART.
Dart,
Okay,
yes.
darts. Okay.
Dart, yeah. So it's just a language. So and you see Flutter code compiles to ARM or Intel machine code as well as JavaScript. So that's basically saying um so you write your code in Dart and then it compiles into JavaScript, essentially. Um multi-platform. So you can see you can make it for make apps for mobile, for iPad screens, for laptops, you know, and for
Mm.
iOS and Android. Okay, so it's pretty cool, very popular. I like it. I and look at that also. It's again owned by Google, so good integration into other services. So Firebase, the Google Play Store. I don't know what this is, and Apple Maps. So, well, this is Google Wallet. This is Google
Mm.
Wallet or Google Ads. Sorry, Google Ads. So if you want to get to the point of monetizing application, you can look at integrating that. So very nicely, and I think that's why I like Firebase Studio again because it's like everything is in one place. It's one company, you know. Whereas with other platforms, with Vercel, V0, you might still have to like do some other company integrations. But Firebase is everything is in one place, right? And look at all the companies that use Firebase. So of course, that use Flutter. So of course, very high in demand and that kind of thing, and it's free. The last one, so then Flutter Flow is optional, but what it does is you can like build your apps with like a drag and drop thing. And what you can do is like it would create all the code and you can just copy and paste it into your IDE and compile it.
Mm.
Yeah. So I haven't used it before, but um it looks like that's what it's supposed to do. And I think in the course of this, like, this trains would, eventually take a look at it. So like start, you can use it for free as well. I download it to my machine. So I have lots of flow on my machine here. Let me show you. Yeah, coming up slowly. Let me get to. So yeah, so I think I mentioned that I had downloaded Flutter Flow to my machine. Okay, this is done a few days ago by me. Uh, and I just like trying out stuff like an e-commerce platform and things.
Mm.
You cannot add like widgets. You can add you know you get me. And then when you want to get the code, you just go here, view code. This is all the code. You can either take all this code over to Cursor or something, compile and stuff. Copy from here. I think there's a if you pay for it, you can actually just download the entire code, but I'm not paying for anything right now. So that's that. Then Stitch. That's the last one. So Stitch is an interesting. Like I said, I think it's optional. You can either start to flow or Stitch. Which one work for you. So Stitch is a good AI. So it transforms UI ideas for mobile and web applications. Let's say I type in create a UI of a uh, of UI similar to a Spotify um, playlist generate designs. So I was thinking, just working on it. Look at that. So it's
Mm.
created UI in how long? Under a minute or so. And you can do a couple of things. You can edit the theme. You can say I want it to be. Let's make it this theme. Apply theme. Oh, did it go through that whole process again? That's kind of slow will be, but just wait. And you see it's giving some description. The design has been generated for a music playlist screen. mirroring the layout of a Spotify playlist. It features a large album art at the top, dedicated to an interactive list of songs with the respective information. So see, it's changed
Mm.
theme, okay? And you can copy this code to Figma if you want to use Figma. I've had issues copying to Figma, and it's a bit annoying. Um, but then the other part too, you can edit. You can, if you click on it, you can get the code as well. Now, my only issue with this one is it gives us HTML code and not Flutter code. So
Right.
may or may not be as useful. I mean, for me, I can always tell the UI, okay, the AI to convert this to Flutter, but I think that's just like double journey.
Extra work, yeah.
Yeah. What you can do though is probably take a JPEG of this and then tell the AI create a Flutter code. If you like what you see, convert this to create a Flutter based code based on the image you see. You can probably just do that as well. All right, so that's just the tools we've discussed so far. Any questions so far, boss?
Just referring to I think we're a little fast in this area about I think we're just trying to educate me about what happens with visual, what's it called again? Visual
Visual
Studio
code?
Code, yeah, and
Okay.
how it relates to
Oh, okay,
the other
okay.
stuff.
So we're not. So I was just giving a backstory that Visual Studio Code is an open source IDE.
Okay.
But we're not going to use Visual Studio Code. We're going to use Cursor. So Cursor, if you look at Cursor, look at Visual Studio Code, they look they look very similar because Cursor was built on top of Visual Studio Code.
Mm.
Likewise, Windsurf as well. Windsurf, what they did was they forked the repo and made some changes and added like battery on steroids.
Okay.
The thing about, what's some of that company that takes like Nike shoes and then like pimps it up? I can't remember that company. It's a similar situation. So they will take like Nike shoes and then add like their own,
Like
like
off white or
they're off white. I mean, it's off white. But like
that's yeah, go ahead.
the one that did that collaboration with Lil Nas X.
Who's X? Luna's X. Oh, Luna. Oh, I don't think I'm aware. I don't know.
Uh, yeah, Mischief.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So like they will pimp up the shoes and like, yeah, Mischief is the company, right?
I
So
see.
yeah, so they'll just like, anyway, you get the picture.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? Any other question?
Not so far. After that, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's do I can't. We want 20 minutes in. So I think a good place to start is for us to, you know, do this hand in hand. So what we can do is I will send you a link. Are you using MacBook, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that'll be good because in the course of this program, we're going to be going into all that. All right. So um, let's start off with Firebase Studio. Okay, so I'm going to send you this link and create an account. I mean, you have a Gmail account, you have a Firebase account. So that's how you want to go about it.
Okay.
And if you want, you can share a screen as well. I think people can share at the same time. So I can see
Okay.
what you're doing. Yeah.
Sounds goody. So when did you send it to my
What's up?
please able to send it to my this thing. Is my like what do you call it on the Google team? What am I saying?
Okay.
Google Meet chat, please. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I got you. I got you, man.
thanks. All right, got it. Let me just share now.
So I think what's going to be great for you in this
Mm,
course is that you will be able to combine your BA knowledge and product knowledge
hmm.
and be able to actually like build something with that.
Right.
Because you know about requirements gathering, this and that. And so it would just be like, oh, what's it saying?
Workspaces may not load because third-party cookies are disabled. Huh?
What
What's
is
it
it saying?
talking about?
Able to close that banner,
For this,
the pink banner top, able to close it.
I don't see a button to close it.
Okay. That's
Okay.
minor. That's minor.
Okay.
Okay. So now, by the way, it's my first time doing this to anybody, like training somebody with Firebase Studio.
Hmm.
So the thing about generative AI, what's so interesting about it is that what I prompt to the AI, it can prompt the exact terminologies and to create two different, it will not create the exact output.
Exact same. Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to start things off easier, so if you look over here at the bottom row, you can see a whole bunch of technologies here. Okay. So you see here we have okay, we have Go. Go is owned by Google programming language, Python, Java, .NET, Android Studio Cloud, Flutter. Just got Flutter recently. So Flutter will be for the app that you're going to be building. I'm proposing to use Flutter. You can use anything really. You can even use React Native to be honest. But I think Flutter would be ideal. One, because it's Google native,
Hmm.
and two, it's just I think it does. I prefer Flutter anyway to React Native. Angular uses at work. Next.js, Node Express, Gemini API, Jenkins, Astro, all that. So those are all technologies that one can use, right? So I think starting off today, let's go with now. See this section here that says prototype on AI, an app with an AI, right?
Yeah.
So by default, the prototype section here creates apps with Next.js, which is
Huh?
this guy. Now they've said that they're working on features to ensure that you can essentially build any of these technologies. But for now, the prototyping support is with um Next.js,
Mm.
right? Now for the Flutter one, that's when the whole Git thing comes in because you actually can also still import your Flutter apps to here, but it won't create it from here. And I'll show you that I did. That's I mean next week or so. Let's just start
Okay.
off with an easier approach
Okay.
of prototyping an app with an AI. No, prototyping an app with AI. Okay, cool. So let's try something. Since we're on the topic of music, let's do something. Let's call this a what would you want to build?
Hmm. Um. Well, we could just since I can't really think of too many ideas right now. Um. I like the radio streaming instrumental idea,
Okay,
or just pretty much a prototype of like something similar to Spotify, but strictly for instrumentals.
sure it is. Okay, so let's. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the prompt, and then I'm going to copy and paste it to you, and you're going to also paste it on your side. So let's see what it outputs. Yeah,
Well,
sure. So um, it's going to be under yeah, that's fine. Whatever. So we're gonna say actually should I do it on this one? Fine, it's prototype. Okay, so create a um create a music streaming platform for music for instrumentals. Okay. I want to add a few more details. So create a music streaming platform for instrumentals. Then I want to say, what else should we add to it? Um, uh, theme should, or let me say the UI should look, since we're doing for web, let's say, um, let's do, should, the theme should look similar to Spotify and be mobile friendly. Okay. Now, obviously, for this product, I think what will be needed is like you really probably need two apps. One for the actual application that people are going to download to their machines, and the other part is like the admin side where it goes like upload songs. So it's upload songs and everything, and then from there to transfer it to the UI. But let's start simple today. Just like it's gonna be actually even some people on. So like, I can do this. My friendly uh, create. Oh, I'm say include an admin section that allows producers to upload their instrumentals. Um, more friendly users should be able to play songs um, and create playlists of their favorite instrumentals. To play, to play these songs and look at those instrumentals. You can the admin section allows you to just upload the instrumentals that will eventually be presented on the uh eventually be included in the music library. You can put hyphens here so that you know. Okay. And last thing I like to do, I like to go to the site called theme, color theme, and I like to like get ideas for like palette. This looks nice. I like this one.
That
Which one
one?
do you want? Which one do you want?
Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I'm actually cool with that one. That's nice color.
Actually, yeah, it's
Color,
pretty
nice
cool, eh?
color. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can go here and just a way I could just like copy everything. There's some really cool things here. So make the color theme where's my guy? Make the color theme this guy. I'm gonna pick this guy and this guy. So which one we doing for the background? Let's do. I think I like this for the background. How would you like it?
So wait, so the main colors are gonna be like
So usually you
the
have like your background, primary, and accents.
oh
So
probably good question. Are you already using that beige looking color for? Are you already using that for something?
no, I'm not using that. This one, right?
No, but okay, but you're using the orange and the peach already, right?
I so Firebase only takes like 3 colors like, for the themes.
I see. I
So
see.
I'm
Okay.
thinking
Well, let us try the. I guess the. If you're using the blue one already.
so this and this 3.
Yeah. Let's just go with that.
Okay. All right. So let's go. So say background. This guy. Um, I'm gonna do and primary. This guy, and I'm gonna say accents. This guy. No, not correct. No, I want to be accents and primary. And lastly, this one's a bit more technical. Use shad CN components. Shad CN components is just basically like basically like the component styles that you use, like buttons and widgets and stuff.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to copy this prompt to your machine. And where is and call messages. All right, let's see what it builds. Let's go.
Okay.
So you're gonna click prototype with AI, and it will first show you what it's going to do. New tune, bro. It's a better name now. I'm gonna call it a different name. I'm gonna customize this. I'm not gonna name. Let's call it Mechas. Is it Z or S you use?
S.
Mechas instrumentals. In all caps too. So now it's giving us like what it's going to do. It says browse music library, browse a curated library of instrumental music, playlist creation, create and manage custom playlists of favorite instrumental tracks, music playback, play instrumentals on the app, the standard playback, standard music playback controls, content upload, admin section for pages to upload instrumental tracks, which gets the music library, AI music recommendation. You see, I didn't add that part, but it just felt, you know what, you might need this. AI tool recommends instrumentals based on listening history and playlists. Generative AI will analyze the user's preferences and recommend which tracks should be incorporated into the output. The positive UI, mobile friendly UI that has components built on shared sync component library. Okay. Style guidelines. So yes, because I mentioned I wanted to be mobile responsive since it's a web app, that kind of thing. Style guidelines, this layout, typography, iconography, animation, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to use Gemini and GenKit, TypeScript, Next.js, Tailwind, CSS. So I remember I told you this is what you use by default to prototype applications. It doesn't, at this point in time, it's not doing plus I think eventually and it will. All right, let's save this. Save, hit save. So now it's giving us the receipt of what it wants to build. And let's hit prototype. Let's go. Let's see what it does.
Me on the prototype. Wow, this is dope.
Yeah.
I'm
very curious to see how detailed this thing gets. So you have the prompts in your machine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you prompting as well? Or you want to see what it shows on my machine first before
Yeah,
you
I'll just trying to like make sure I'm following you. Like
okay.
Yeah. Before I do mine.
That makes sense. Maybe what we'll do is like I'll keep giving you all the prompts. Also save it to your machine just in case.
Okay.
Once you close the call, it won't to your right. So just make sure you have it copied somewhere and then you can do it after
Okay.
the call. Yeah.
Got you.
So right now, what it's doing is it's creating all the code. It's adding all the directories, and we'll go over it after once it's done.
All right.
Yeah,
Sound
yeah.
great.
And also, I think to make your life easier, I think it might be good to start off this project as a web project before we start doing Flutter. Because I think with Flutter,
Uh,
you have to like, yeah. I mean, because with Flutter, essentially, you're talking about going to the App Store and downloading it to your machine and all that. We can obviously get there,
oh,
but I feel like overall development can be funny because you have to go to the App Store, submit the manifest and all that. It can be long. And
so you're trying to get rid of as many roadblocks
exactly,
up
like
front.
now, maybe like a nice mobile application. We can make it. There's something called progressive web apps. Essentially, these are web apps that can have like a native feel. So you can tell people, hey, they just add it to your home screen and then to feel like kind of native. So you can like start
Mm,
that way. And again, it's easier because you can just you want to make a change, you don't have to go to the app store to make the change first. So you can just on your own just log in, make your changes and ready to go. And like I said, it's a prototype. If that gets to a point where it's like making, it's getting popular and it's making more sense, you say, okay, let me make this thing like a mobile native app.
hmm,
Yeah. And also in native apps, you have to like have a developer account, you have to pay Apple's $100 a year, Google's $5. Like it's a whole
mm.
submission process. They have to test it. Do you put unit tests? Have you included 10 people to review the app first before you upload it to the app store? Guy?
Oh boy.
It's long. Yeah, that test you want test to, So, but the web is open. Anybody can upload. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
So now that I think about it, I think we must keep it to the web for now. Yeah. Look at all this. And Next.js, especially, is built upon React.
Mm,
So yeah, essentially learning React JS. So okay. The difference though is that React is a client-side library. Next.js is a full stack library, so it's server-side and UI.
okay.
So yeah. And it's built by the same companies that built. Ooh, okay. Okay, okay.
Nice
That's what it gave
boost.
us. There's one issue, I think. What's the issue? Um, MPX new code link. This next year can be a pain sometimes. Okay.
Hmm,
Legacy behavior is deprecated and will be removed in the future release. A code mod available to upgrade other plans. Okay. Let me just show you what it has here first.
okay. Oh, it's playing something.
Yeah, but there's an error now. Okay, no source profile. Okay, so I guess it created something, I guess. Let's see what it has. So it has playlists. It was broken though. Something is broken. All right, hold on. Browse, playlist, chill vibes, focus zone. Hmm.
Oh,
So these are
relaxing
like
study. Okay.
so it's not even like going deeper into the playlist. AI picks. Tell us about your taste. AI just some familiar tracks you might love. Your playlist. This one's 5. Hmm. Okay. Upload admin. Okay. So clearly a lot of errors going on here.
Yeah.
But you get you get the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you first of all. So today I don't really want to go into deep into like fixing the errors and all that. I think I just wanted to show you like what can be done, right?
And we're off to a
Um,
good start from what I'm seeing. I mean,
yeah.
like,
So what you
yeah.
have here obviously is a UI, and it followed what we said. We said we wanted it to have so the background to be this. I think looking back now, I probably have just flipped it, made the background this one because it's too blue. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
all blue. Yeah. So yeah, you can actually like flip it. Actually, you can tell. You know what? Let me do that now. Um, I'll do later. Let's see. So they're giving us a menu section here. So what we can actually even do is, if you want it to be like just you alone to upload, you can make this such a way that um you have to log in. So only you can log in and upload your songs, right? So it'll be like
Hmm.
almost having your own 100 gigs.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So to the public, this will be hidden. Like they won't see upload admin, but you would have it once you log in, right? And then they can upload songs and this and the third. Okay. But see all of this here. This is the UI. Okay. Got all this feature tracks. There's a playlist section. So you can create playlists. So it will give you some nice names and chill vibes, focus on what we can even do. We can even start replacing these images. I'll see if we have access where we can say we can include an, an API that randomly creates like a an AI image based on the theme of the playlist.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, plug this thing into the into GP and make chill vibes. Give me a theme for chill vibes. Give me an image for focus on, right? And then just be, you know, and you can create your own playlist here if you want. I don't know if this is working. Okay, I guess it's just like a done button. It's not doing much.
Hmm.
Um, AI picks, upload admin. Oh yeah, I forgot that part was broken. Okay. So yeah. So what you're seeing here is a prototype mode, right? Now, if you want to dig in further and see what's really happening under the hood, you have switch to code. Okay. Now your API key, it makes it easy for you. You can auto-generate the API key. You need this if you want to activate like the AI features.
Hmm.
So Gemini is so you know how you have OpenAI for ChatGPT, that's the model. Gemini is Google's model, right?
Gotcha.
So it's and there's right now I think it's Gemini 2.5 or 2.5 Pro. There are many models for Gemini, and so you need an API key, and the API key basically is will be generated I believe on GCP on the cloud platform, and it gives you access to all the AI features that you're trying to do. So like in this case, the music recommendation you want to do or whatever, right? It would just like if you want to add more AI features, you need that key. And then to
All right.
publish, when you want to publish it, basically what you're saying is I want to make this app available to the public so they can like play music and down and do whatever. Okay.
Hmm.
But where I'm going to leave this training for today so you can digest this is on switch to code. Okay. So switch to code. Another interesting thing. This okay, bit of backstory. So Google had this thing called Project IDX that they started working on a few years ago. So Project IDX was again built on newsflash Visual Studio Code. So same as Cursor. You see the trend here. Eventually they morphed it and wrapped it up and they brought into Firebase Studio. So Project IDX is now Firebase Studio, essentially.
Hmm.
Okay. So now sometimes you want to go into the code because you want to be a bit more adventurous and actually see what's happening. So we're not going to go into the code base today in depth, but you just have like look at the directories. So you see here like components. So the components are essentially like the UI components that you see here, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
forms, so like the forms, like accommodation form, for example, this is the code that is using to generate like uh the forms and all that. Okay, I mean we can now start talking about further architecture and this and that. We're not going to do that today. And I'm also trying to keep this very in line with your skills as a product person because I'm not trying to get you to at this stage start writing code, but instead what you want is a high level understanding of your architecture. I think at this stage, having architectural understanding gives you more value than like going to the code and seeing what's going on in the code. Right?
Hmm.
Okay. So now AI, this is like the McDaddy of everything happening. So GenKit, okay. So this is the model, this is the AI model it's using. Like I told you earlier about, there's OpenAI, Google ChatGPT is using a model called the many API AI models that available. I think it's mini or of course I have to name it now. But the point is, this is Google's AI model. So Gemini 2.0, right? And there are others, there's Gemini 2.5 Pro, there's 2.5, they're all kind of models. This is a free tier one. Okay. So that's going to talk here. The dev TS is, so this is like flows, or I won't go into that. I won't go into this today, but essentially it imports. So there's a called flows, right? So this is the function. If you did, there's a place here for AI picks, instrumental AI music recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
This is the section. This is the UI that on the code is built with, and you see this prompt here. You are a music recommendation expert specializing in instrumental music. Based on the user's listening history and playlist, you recommend instrumentals that the user might enjoy. So what's happening is these flows are prompting the AI model, okay, to do this function, this based on this prompt.
Got you.
So basically, so what happens is that when the user types in like beats or whatever into this place, it goes all the way down to this AI model prompt, and then the AI now spits out the results. Okay, so that's like the general picture.
Huh.
Okay. Yes. So host, this is more on a React level type thing, context. And then what's makes it is very nice and tidy because you can see all the code here and then run it also in real time in the browser. So if I make a change now, let's say I make a change. Let me see. Navigation. Let's say I go to core. Um, I'm basically trying to find where I can see. Let me do a search. AI music. Okay, good. So the page, exactly the page. Let's change this to let's move the AI part. Let's say music recommendations. And I hit save. I should see it. Perfect. It changed it.
Mm.
So I changed it from AI music recommendations and it just put AI music recommendations. So you can make a change here in real time, right? So this in itself is also an IDE. Okay. Any questions so far?
Well, I mean, I like the fact that I I'm overwhelmed, but it's good I'm overwhelmed because I like to feel that there's a challenge that that I need to overcome when it comes to this. Because I think where I'm going with this is that with in regards to like the because I think you mentioned something about architecture and
Mhm.
then understanding code. So I think my question right now would be, while that's good, but like, would you still say I should still sort of spend a bit more time, of course, without getting too like lost in the sauce on understanding certain syntax,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because why I'm just asking that question really is, again, like I think mainly because for the most part, this is something that you want to see if I can build mostly by myself, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's a way to just kind of like sort of like fast track the nitty gritty side of things before getting to the architectural side. Because I don't know how I can, unless you're gonna help me expand on that, like how I can understand things from an architectural bird's eye view
Yeah.
without really understanding the code like fully, you know. So I think that's just where I'm at right now.
Very good question, and it's a normal question to ask because it's one thing to see the UI and everything looks like it works, but then it's like, you know, how does it work is another question. Now, you have to think of AI as, like I mentioned earlier, as a co-pilot, right? So think of it like when you're playing God of War, you have people around you. So it's Kratos has things he has to do, he has missions he has to achieve, but he has Mjolnir and he has his son that bring about different aspects that he doesn't have. So in this context, the same way, like you're not actually doing it by yourself, you're working with the AI.
Got you.
Let me even tell you something, yeah. I'm an Angular developer by trade. I don't do React, I don't do Next.js. So yes, I have the skill, but I'm also having to learn. There are many times I look at some syntax. Yes, I understand it, but it's like it's not making sense to me. So what do I do? I'm an experienced developer, what do I do? I actually go into the AI and I ask questions. I actually have questions. So to your question,
Mm.
please can you summarize the architecture to me for this project? Explain it to me like I am a product manager or business analyst. Let's see what it says. Let's read together and let's see if it helps out in.
Okay.
Okay. So based on the file list, this product appears to be a web application built with Next.js and TypeScript. Paste the text, by the way.
Was that? Can I what?
Paste the text.
Yeah, it's the text. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here's a summary of the architecture in terms of a product manager or a business analyst might understand. Core framework Next.js. This product is built on Next.js, a popular React framework. This provides structure for the application, handles routing, and supports server-side rendering for better performance of SEO. So server-side rendering, this is a bit technical. Do you know what that means?
Server side rendering. Well,
Yeah.
I know rendering. I know that's something I'm thinking about, like FL Studio or something like or machine to export something.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, similar. So basically, you're rendering stuff onto the browser, right? Now,
mm,
you can render code through the client side or the browser, right? So this framework does it. React generally is a client side rendering framework. Next is a server side rendering framework. Okay, we'd have to go into the depth of all that stuff, but just the reason why SSR frameworks exist is because for S for SEO, you know what SEO is, right?
yeah, search engine
Exactly.
optimization.
It performs better for SEO. So if somebody wants to search for your application on the web, you want to use SSR frameworks. Okay. So TypeScript, the use of TypeScript adds type safety to the code, which helps catch errors early in development and makes the code base more maintainable. Was that clear? Was that easy to
Use
grasp?
of types. See, I need to get away from my playful side because I read it as type shit at first. So the
Straightforward.
use of TypeScript, that's type safe to code, which helps catch errors early in the code. Something explain. I don't know.
Huh?
No, I don't understand the TypeScript.
Okay. A bit unlike this jargon is actually a bit technical. Okay.
Maybe we can add a prompt saying use more of like everyday language.
Okay.
Uh,
Again, guys, I said BA. Is if it needs to mean
as someone who
yeah,
doesn't have prior technical knowledge as well.
language as someone who doesn't have prior technical. Yeah, because I really was like, come on, y'all going to be deep in this one. Yeah. Okay. 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 Imagine building a house. This product is like building a house using a special kit called Next.js.
Mhm.
This kit helps organize everything so the house is strong and easy to build. Here's a breakdown. So the kit's Next.js. It's much more friendlier. This is the main framework or blueprints for your house. It helps us decide where to put the rooms, pages, how to
Mm.
connect them, routing, and it will helps make the house load faster. Okay, I'm going to paste this prompt as well. So when you go into the code section, this is a very, very, very nice uh, very, very nice feedback. The rooms are so if you remember they talked about rooms earlier, pages. These are the main areas that people visit our house, like living room, homepage, music room, this place, recommendations. But this is got a special feedback office. So really, really, really nice. Utility room and storage. Is it
Mhm.
better for you now?
Yeah, much better. I mean, because there's a lot of info, I'll have to just read that too. But
Yeah.
this is a better introduction.
But I feel this was still like on the it was still like overwhelming, like yo, where is this going? Like
I think
yeah,
there's
but
an assumption I should know some of these terms already, which I'm not familiar
exactly,
with.
exactly. Yeah. And I think I'll just going back, okay, you be a guy, you should know this, but it's fine. This is helpful. And it's probably a journey, my bro. Like just
Mm.
don't feel like it's this is how everybody learns some way. Even me when I first started out, I saw like what is code structures. But I'm just a stubborn guy. I like to like dig further. So hosting it hell. So yeah, I think the house technology makes it very, very easy to understand. So I'll stop here for today. It's 1 hour. Um the stuff
Wow.
here on source controls, this way connect to GitHub, commits. And I mentioned you can use the terminal, or you can use the buttons here. I think for the purpose of this, we'll use those buttons. It makes it easier for you. What how you can version your code and all that. Then we have like debugging if you want to debug what's going on. Extensions. We have to about extensions right now, but basically like plugins essentially you can add. And I think if you click here, this just shows you like all the Google things you can connect to, integrations you can connect your app to like hosting your app, deploying, adding maps, secret manager, all that stuff. Again, you have to go through that today. But yeah, this is the start of your journey, sir.
Wow. Thanks, Broski. I really appreciate this, man. This is yeah. I know what I know. This is it requires brain power. I do appreciate you putting this together. I really appreciate it. Um, uh, I'll say, well, ahead of like our next call, um, I think like the exercise we did today was first of all was through Firebase, right? Mainly.
Yes.
Okay. So just wondering, do you have any like homework for me ahead of when we do get to speak on this again? Just so that at least
Yes. Yes.
you're not having to
So
repeat the same things again, kind of thing, right?
no. So that's why once it's ready, I'll send over to you.
Okay. Good point.
That's the first thing you have that. So I'm going to show you that you have a terminal here, so you can, if you want to use the terminal to do some stuff, you can do that here. But we're not touching that today. So homework. What I want you to do is to take those prompts, okay, that
Mhm.
we discussed, okay, and I'll type it to WhatsApp and run it also, okay. Don't worry. Hopefully, there's no errors. Don't worry about fixing the errors for now. Just let the UI show. Okay. And the only thing I want you to do is to um make a small change. So like you know how I changed the name here, like from AI music recommendation to recommendations. So I
Yeah.
want you to find a page that you want it. I want to let's change the title, change the name or something. That's all I
Okay.
want you to do. Yeah. So let me just type in the assignment on WhatsApp.
Right.
Um use the prompts I provided to you and and create the app on Firebase Studio. And the next thing I needed to do is to um, switch to the code um, panel on Firebase Studio and make a change to a um, page title or something, or anything you want to change. You can even do more than one change, as a matter of fact. You can even change the theme. Actually, that'll be a challenge assignment for you.
Okay.
A bonus, uh, change the theme colors after it has been rendered and show me how you prompted it. Like, okay, prompt, prompt the AI to change the theme. And then lastly is use the recorded video as reference if needed. And that's it.
Okay.
That's all it today. Oh yeah, don't forget to uh if lost, ask Gemini to explain the project to you in every everyday English, that we said? Everyday English?
It's everyday language
Everyday language.
with no prior technical
With
knowledge.
no prior technical knowledge. Okay.
Lovely. Wow.
If I'm gonna stop here,
Okay.
stop presenting, and I'm gonna stop recording as well.
Thank you.